Today, the Justice Department, you're not even going to believe this story. The Justice Department announced the creation of a $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund to compensate those who claim they were targeted by the Biden administration and Democrats. It is apparently part of a settlement with President Donald Trump, who sued over the 2019 leak of his tax returns. Joining me now, MS Now legal analyst Christy Greenberg. She is a former federal prosecutor and host of the YouTube show Courtside with Christy Greenberg. Can you explain what has happened, how this is going to work? I mean, all of it. I mean, if it's anybody who was targeted by the Biden administration, I guess Hunter Biden could join this. They prosecuted him.
Yeah, so that's the part about this. There is a commission that will decide all of this. The commission is going to be appointed by the Attorney General, Todd Blanche. It's going to have 5 members, and the commission's procedures for submitting a claim, deciding whether a claim is worthy, that's all up to the commission as to what they want to do. You just have to basically assert a claim that there was lawfare, and then they can decide whether it is or it isn't. And by the way, any member of this commission can be removed by Donald Trump without cause at any time. So essentially what this really is Donald Trump, through his attorney general, doing his bidding to make sure that taxpayer dollars are essentially a piggy bank to give anybody who claims to have been aggrieved, any of his allies, taxpayer dollars. It is outrageous.
Through his attorney general, former defense attorney. Now, House Democrats are obviously pushing back. They are calling this unparalleled corruption, and it could potentially be undermining the Constitution. What is the likelihood that they could stop any of this?
Unfortunately, a lot less likely this evening because the judge in the case, Kathleen Williams, closed the case in an order tonight. But
what does that mean?
So basically, rather than take the House Democrats submitted a brief today and basically said, you don't have to approve this settlement. You should take a look at this before you sign off on DOJ saying we're going to just end this. You, judge, can take a look at it and see if the parties, because they're both really on the same side here, this was collusive, take a look to see if they really abused the process, basically created a sham lawsuit to get access to this settlement fund. You, judge, can look at that. And the judge said no. The judge essentially closed the case, said it's dismissed, but she said some important things in that order. She said, 1, there is no settlement of record. So you all are calling this a settlement. The court, am not calling this a settlement. And she also said the IRS and the Treasury Department, they have independent obligations to the public to let us know what's going on, to make sure that the way that resources are being expended are done fairly and justly. And she noted that neither the IRS nor the Treasury Department submitted any of those settlement documents to the court for approval, nor did they say, hey, this settlement is appropriate given this outstanding question the court had about whether there was even a case.
But despite that, right, so she pointed it out, and let's be clear, the IRS and the Treasury are both run by Scott Bessent, obviously a close ally of the president. She made these statements, but then she turned around and closed the case. So there's nothing that can be done.
I mean, so look, I think she kind of set up saying if there is no settlement of record in the case, then where is the money going to come from? Because the way that you get the money in this judgment fund is from a settlement of a case. She's saying there is no settlement. So them calling this a settlement is really a misnomer. And so potentially Congress could look into this. There should be some oversight there to say, how are you funding this fund? Where is it coming from? It shouldn't come from this judgment fund that's typically used to settle real cases. I can see Congress posing a challenge here. The other thing Congress could do is seek to take congressional action to try to block this fund. Those would be the 2 options. But given that it is us, the public, the taxpayers, who are the ones that are hurt here, I don't know. I think that there could be members of the public that could try to challenge this and potentially have standing, though it is difficult in this case to see where there may be standing. But there is at least an argument that could be made.
Is there any precedent for a fund like this being set up?
No, the DOJ tried to point to a precedent and saying, well, the Obama administration had created a fund for Native American farmers who had claimed that there was racial discrimination by the government. I mean, there are huge differences there. That settlement was approved by a court. This one isn't. Also, Obama didn't file that lawsuit or stand to benefit from it in any way. Trump personally filed this lawsuit and stands to benefit because now his political allies are being not only compensated, but incentivized to continue to do his bidding without any consequences. I mean, January 6th could easily happen again because there is no reason for these bad actors not to continue to act badly. They're not only not going to face any criminal consequences, they're compensated for any issues that they may have in lawsuits brought civilly.
Then file all of this in This Is Not Normal.